Hey Flosstube, it's Kerry and Stitches. It's Friday the 21st of October and this is my autumn WIP parade. Hello and welcome. I hope you're all keeping well and have had a great stitchy week. Welcome if you're a new viewer. Welcome back if you're returning. Like the bell, click the button. So, today's WIP parade is 23 WIPs. That's everything I've got. Should have been 24, but I've got to finish yesterday. But I'm not going to show that till next week. So, first up are my Blackbird stockings. These are my oldest WIP. I started these on the 31st of December 2019. And this is my only thing left from 2019. So, I've got these three to do. I've chosen to do the violet one in the middle, the rose, and then sunflower manna, or whatever it's called. Wild sunflower, that one. So all the others have been done, and that's where I'm at with sunflower. Like 30, these are all stitched on 36 count ivories I got, and here are the others. That's upside down. So, June and September, April and February, November and October, March, and then December. I'm just going to throw them all on the floor today. So next up, started on the 29th of February 2020. We're going to leave it in here. Is Monkey Wrench by Ink Circles. And I'm stitching this using Silks For You, my own conversion to Silks For You. Just kind of brighten the colours up. And it's on a 40 count from Crafty Kitten called Fairy Forest, and that's where we're at. So before photograph hitting your screen now. So I feel like I've made a fairly decent bit of progress this year. Once I figured out that I needed a magnifier for it and good lighting, it's fine. That's why I was struggling before, because I would not admit I couldn't see it. Get some board for this one. Next up we have Cardinal Points by Long Dog Samplers and The Gentle Art, and that's where I'm at with this at the moment. As you can see, so I've got pages 1, 2 and 3 done across the top, and page 4 there other than the page 4? Yeah, page 4 other than the words. And the little pink flower here is the start of page 6. Oh, and that's... Try again. So before photographing, so I don't feel like I've done a lot this year. I feel like I've made massive progress, but apparently I haven't. So, but I'm still hoping for a finish this year on it. I'm stitching this as part of the Long Dog Leap Day sale, where the plan was to start it on Leap Day, which I did on the 29th of February 2020, and finish it by the 29th of February 2024. It will be done by then. I'd like not to carry it into next year. Next up is, yes, that's why you top stitch your threads in, yeah, fabric in. It's a project bag I made, so I'm telling myself off. Next up is Quilting Bee, which, there we go, and I'm stitching this in the call for threads. On 32 count Bacchus by Chromatic Alchemy. So that's where I'm at. So before photo. And that's where we're at. I'm really not very good at this holding whips up. There we go. So a bit of progress since last time, really. I thought I'd done more than that. I thought I'd nearly finished the body. Apparently not. Hasn't really seen the light of day much recently. But another one that I'd really like to get done. Oh, who am I kidding? Next year. I'm hoping that you're only going to see 4 of these whips next year. It's fighting talk, that. Blue flower, did I say that? Next up is Spot Sampler by Amanda Butler for Cross Stitcher Magazine. 359. I think I got it. Yeah, 359. And this is stitched on another piece of a Chromatic Alchemy, and this is Midas, 32 count Midas. There we go with that one. It's really pretty. My before shot. So, bit of progress. I hit my whip go goal on it, so that's something. Let's put the cover picture away as well. Next up is Well-Rounded Perennial Pinwheels by Hands On Design. I think I've got 6 of these stitched. I'm stitching these in the Call for DMC. And these are all on Zweigart fabrics that I found in a charity shop, and I think they're quite close to the Call for colours, even though the Call for colours I want to say are oh no, maybe not, maybe they are, I don't know, I thought they were fabric, I didn't think there was Zweigart, but perhaps they are. So that is Winter. That's the only one of Winter I've gotten done. That's an autumn one. And we have one summer done. Actually, nearly all 3. Spring. So when you last saw it this time last year, all I had done was winter. So I think that's actually not bad progress. So essentially I've got 2 for every season and that one to finish. When you say it like that, it doesn't sound like a lot. I think they're either 28 or 32 count. Not entirely sure. Okay, these are My Favourite Thing by Zoe Patching for Word Across Stitch. I don't have any cover pictures. I literally have my working copies. Can't even find the July one. Is that it? There we go. No, that's not it. It doesn't matter. But not whatever. So they kind of look like that. They were supposed to have like a little floss tag that you made. But all I'm doing is adding a little something in, finding my own little design to go in. I've done January through to June, and this is the start of July's. So I really hoped I'd get this series finished this year, but I didn't. So what am I going to do? Okay. Party Buzz. Oh, and those were found in Cross Stitch magazine, one a month for 2020. Next up we have Hands On Design, Block Party Buzz. I was telling you when I started these. Okay. So, Quilting Bee and Spot Sample are both 2020 as well, November and December. So Well-Rounded was my New Year, New Start last year. My Favourite Things were started mid-January, and then this was, oh yes, a Mania start in last year. So before, now. Oh, let's move some of these flosses. So one that hasn't really seen a lot of work at all this year. This is a shame, so it's a really lovely design. Okay. Started September 21. Is Blue Flowers. Oh. Tudor Bee. I couldn't remember what it was called then. Getting some floss. And I'm stitching this on. Do you know what? I don't know. I'm going to go with Barely Bronzed. Should I put it the right way up now? There we go. Another one, not as not as far along as I thought. Could have sworn I'd already started on the bee. Never mind. Anyway, so that's actually on my to-do list for a finish this year. Beginning to think it might not be realistic. $100, $200, $300, $400, $500. That's the outside. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 1,200 stitches. Maybe. Maybe. It's a possibility. Don't know unless I put stitches into it. And that's been stitched in the Cool Form threads too, I think. Might be a couple of subs. What we got? Hook Farm. Another blue flower design. And there we go. Absolutely beautiful. It really is. And I'm stitching this on Snowy Skies by Sparklers, and it's a 36 counter probably. I don't tend to go much smaller than that these days. Oh, okay, there we are. And that's where we're at. So I've gotten a whole page done this year. So it's pretty good progress. I started this on 15th of September. So I think that's pretty good going. Oh. And then we have the first of my things that won't be in from this year. I don't even know if I've got a cover. Let's see if I've got a cover picture. This is one of my new starts I told you about. Oh, we have got the cover picture. There we go. So it's Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. And I'm totally making up what I'm stitching this with. It's got some silks from 21st Century Yarns. It's got fancy floss. Yeah, obviously DMC. What else we got? So yeah, some fancies from 21st Century. We've got one of the DMC variegated, regular DMC, Gentle Arts, more DMC, and that classic Colorworks. So yeah, there's a little bit of all sorts in this one, and it's stitched on a Lakeside Needlecraft Fabric Flare exclusive called Woodland, and it's an 18 count, so it's a printed Ada. So that's where I'm at. Oh, let's move those out of the way. There's a lot of cloud there. This is one I'm actually further along than, I know there's not a lot there, but I'm further along than I thought. That's actually a really good feeling. I genuinely just couldn't remember having had a lot stitched on that. I don't think it's been called for WIP Go yet either. Oh, it knows. Okay, let's move the next pile forward. So next up we've got a start from, so I started that on the 1st of November. This is Barbara Anna's Dancer, and it was started on the 25th of November last year. And it's from Punch, Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. Being stitched on a 32 count basalt by Zweigart with the call for floss. Look at that beautiful face. So basically a little bit of face left in the jumper in the garland to do, and it's on my list for a finish for this year. Moves needle that's fallen out of a project bag to the side. Okay, another Barbara Anna up next, and this is Infinite Christmas, which was her freebie design last year. I've got a cover picture as well. Look at that, me with a cover picture. That's where it is. And I decided that as much as I liked it, I didn't want to stitch it 4 times. It's kind of over it. So my plan, I can do that actually, is to rip out this little bit here and then stitch that, repeat on that side, possibly put the tree in here as well as another half, maybe not, turn it into a drum and call it done. I'm over it, that's fine. So I'm a fair way done. So if I just need to repeat that little section there and then a couple of other bits and bobs and call it done, and I will be happy. So that's that one. That's on an 18 count something or other. Okay, my last, and I started that on the 15th of December. my last 2021 WIP. Don't even have a cover picture. Sorry, itchy nose. I'll insert a cover picture of it here. And it's long Santa Quill from Long Dog Stitcher. Long Dog Sampler. That's Long Dog Stitcher is a person. There we go. This is on a colour and cotton called Cornflower, I think. So there we go. Could have sworn I had that house done. Apparently not. Good thing it's not on my to be finished list. Number 15 is Pixels That Made Us by Pick Stitch, which was a charity sale in 2021. I actually only started mine on 1st of January, and that is the G. It says Gamer, Gamer, and it is all retro game characters. I think this is Sega, and then there's a Nintendo, Game Boy, and then a Nintendo. Oh, there's a Super Nintendo, and an arcade or something like. I can't remember. Stitching this for hubs, and oh, that's where I'm at with the G. 20 count. Don't remember. 20 count. Charcoal grey Ada. That's what I got. And I'm stitching this 1/1 because it's only 20 count. My plan for this is a letter a year, so as you can see I've got a little way to go on the G yet. So a letter a year is my plan for this. I need to finish it for hubby's 50th. That was the deal. And because it has like 250 colours of DMC in it, I just pull them straight from my box on my master set. That can stay. Next is a WIP I adopted, and I have a before picture of where it was when I received it. This was an adopted WIP from somebody who had adopted the WIP, adopted it. So it's actually been stitched in Sullivan's threads, which are fine. And there we go, Spider Moon, just none. Sorry, itchy nose. So I'm actually really enjoying stitching this. It's on, I think it's on Murky, and I forget that it's started at the bottom. So if we go there, probably about there, a bit more. That'll do. There we go. So I spent quite a bit of time just making sure that everything was finished in the sections, because there were odd things that weren't done. You know, there might be a bit of border missing, or like the pumpkin from the tree, maybe. Yeah, pumpkin from the tree I think was missing, and some of the ghosts and things. So, but that's 3 sections completely done now, and we're just starting on. Technically that's 5. Or maybe it just starts at the bottom. I don't know. There's 3 sections done, 2 to go. So, but it's about the same size again. So it'll be about this big when it's done. I mean, give or take 3 inches at the top, but yeah, it's a big girl. But it's a lot of fun to stitch, even if it is 473 million colours. Okay. So I think I first actually started working on that in June of this year. Oh, sorry, itchy nose, but I didn't record when. So another new one this year is the Temperature Library from Jardin Privé, which I haven't done anymore since you saw it last week. So this will be a finish this year. It's looking good. I'm pleased with it. Good thing I like green, yellow and blue, really. 18 count Pictures Plus pewter. Oh, Spider-Man I think is on Murky from Pictures Plus. I think, but it's a 32 count. Rivaris. I actually brought one of them in with me. So I started both of these. I started the full set from Punch Needle. I don't think I've even got a couple of pictures in here. No, that's not a picture on. I've just got my travel bag with me. I started that last year in May, and I started the 4 seasons. You've seen 2 of them. This is where I'm at with winter. This is on a mystery sparklers scrap. I'm stitching it in a sulky conversion, and I've also got spring started, and I think I've got like half a H done. So there we go. It just says, it's got a big snowflake, ME, says winter above it. They're on my, nope, wasn't planning on getting those done this year. Happy and Glorious. So I started these as part of the Queen's Jubilee, and I finished Jubilee Joy and God Save the Queen, and I'm now working on Happy and Glorious. And this has been stitched on a Sparkless 36 count barely bronzed. And when did I start this one? I don't know. Jubilee weekend, so beginning of June. And I did stitch on it on the day Queen Elizabeth died, and I also stitched on it on the funeral. And now I plan to save it until the coronation of King Charles III, which I believe is on the 6th of May. Or maybe I will stitch it up until then and just stitch it, leave enough to finish it on the 6th of May. Something like that. And that's by Samplers and Stitches. Oh, that's the wrong way around. Good thing I looked at my list. Next up is I started for Sharon's birthday, which is Violet's Blue by Blackbird Designs. And if I do that, you can see it a bit better. Decided not to put the verse on. I might put some initials. Don't know what I'll do in the gap yet, but anything else. I may just do some initials or something like that. I don't know. And this is on Slightly Spring by Sparklers, and it's a 36 count. And I'm going to say it's pretty much in the colourful colours. That's my start on it. So not a lot. But I know where to go when I get that daily 30 challenge of stitch on something with purple. Well, I wouldn't have done because I had forgotten I had it. It wasn't even on my WIP list. Oh, terrible weather. My child will not be happy. She's getting very wet on the way home from school. So 3 to go. Come stitch a spell from Mill Hill. And I've got a pitiful start on that. But actually that's quite a lot of the tops. I think that's the whole of the top sign. So I did it for one Mill Hill Monday and never went back to it. Although I think we did it on a Tuesday. But Advent calendar from Cross Stitcher magazine, which is this. So I've done section 1. I'm currently working on section 2, which is those ones there. And then it all goes into the cardboard advent. So again, I actually want to go. Oh, it comes out next. No, 2 weeks. I must crack on with this. Because I want to try and keep up with it in the parts, so and get it finished, ready for Advent. It's on a 14 count from Cross Stitcher 388, 389, and 390. And my last WIP, which is almost finished, if I can get that into the bag, and I haven't brought the picture in either, is a Rosewood Manor design from last year's Halloween Just Cross Stitch, and it's crows on a pumpkin, even though I keep arguing that they're crows in a pumpkin. And this is on a scrap of Harvest Blush by Sparklers, 36 count. So I've literally got vines, and I've got one more outline of the pumpkin to do in Buckeye Scarlet, then I get to do the stalk and 2 vines. Jobs are good. It's so pretty. Love this. So hopefully going to get that finished in the next week or so as well. I'm actually stitching it pretty much in the core 4 threads with a couple of DMCs, because I think I bought 3 because they were good variegated ones, except the tomato turned out not to be quite variegated. So that's pretty much it. Well, that is it. That is my WIP count. So in last year's video, I showed you 7, 8, I showed you 9 things I wanted to get started this year. Autumn Town, you saw it as a WIP. Spider Moon, saw it as a WIP. And Gamer, saw that as a WIP too. Also, the Sledding Gnome from Mill Hill, which is done and dusted. Quaker Bee from the Heart Needle Art, done and dusted. And on the wall, pencil at the top there. No, right at the top there. S Ward on the wall over there, done and dusted. And the only 2 that I haven't started and don't intend to start this year are Summer Home by Birds of a Feather and Santa Strips from Barbara Anna. So that's pretty much my WIP parade. I'm hoping to get finished this year the Advent, Black Birds on a Pumpkin, my Temperature Houses, Infinite Christmas Dancer, Tudor Beat and Cardinal Points. Anything else is a bonus, but I'm sure there'll be some ornaments and stuff thrown in too. So friends, I'm going to leave that here and wish you well. I hope you all have a great stitchy week, fortnight until I next see you. Take care and happy stitching. Bye bye.